The sun was sinking behind the red mesas when Caleb Turner first spotted the stranded wagon tilted awkwardly along the narrow desert trail. The sky burned orange and gold, casting long shadows over the sagebrush and scattered rocks. His horse slowed beneath him, ears twitching at the nervous whinny of two tethered animals ahead. Something was wrong. Travelers rarely passed this deep stretch of Arizona territory without reason, and fewer still traveled alone. Beside the wagon stood a young Apache woman, her dark braid hanging over one shoulder as she wrestled with a shattered wheel. One spoke had snapped clean through, and the rim sagged heavily into the dust. Her sleeves were rolled up, hands streaked with grease and dirt, her jaw set in stubborn concentration. When she noticed Caleb approaching, she straightened immediately, chin lifted, eyes sharp and guarded. She did not reach for a weapon, but she did not step back either. "My name is Apache," she said before he could speak, her voice steady despite the fading light. "The wheel broke at noon. I can fix it." Caleb tipped his hat politely, keeping his movements slow so as not to alarm her. The history between settlers and the Apache people lingered like heat rising from stone, old conflicts, broken treaties, fear passed from one campfire story to the next. But Caleb had grown tired of living by suspicion alone. "Reckon it'll be hard without proper tools," he replied calmly. "I've got spare spokes and a workbench back at my ranch. Cabin's about a mile east. You're welcome to use what I've got." Apache hesitated. The wind stirred her braid across her shoulder, and coyotes began their distant calls as dusk settled deeper over the land. Trust was not easily given on the frontier, especially between strangers from opposite sides of a long divide. Yet night was coming fast, and the desert was unforgiving after dark. After a long moment, she nodded once. They worked side by side under lantern light at Caleb's cabin, the broken wheel balanced across wooden sawhorses. Caleb shaped a new spoke with steady hands, shaving the wood carefully until it fit snugly into place. Apache watched closely, then joined him, adjusting the rim with surprising skill and strength. The silence between them softened as the repair took shape, each respecting the other's quiet determination. By the time the wheel stood whole again, the moon had risen high above the ranch, silver and watchful. Caleb offered her the safety of the barn loft until morning. Apache accepted, though her eyes remained thoughtful, as if measuring the risk she had taken. Neither of them noticed the distant silhouette standing on a ridge beyond the cabin, watching the lantern glow flicker against the dark heaviness in his chest, the kind that comes when the world is too quiet. The usual sounds of morning, the low rustle of wind through dry grass, the distant call of birds greeting the light, were missing. Even the horses in the corral stood still. He swung his legs over the side of the bed and reached instinctively for his boots, senses sharpening. The first gray light of dawn spilled through the window as he stepped onto the porch. He froze. Riders circled the cabin in complete silence, their horses forming a wide ring around the ranch house and barn. There were at least 20 of them. Their faces were marked with streaks of red and black war paint, feathers tied into their braids, bows resting across their saddles. They did not shout or move aggressively. They simply watched. Caleb felt his pulse hammer against his ribs, but he forced himself not to reach for the rifle leaning beside the door. One wrong movement could turn silence into gunfire. Behind him, the cabin door creaked open. Apache stepped out, her braid loose from sleep, her eyes still heavy, until she saw the riders. The color drained from her face. She whispered something under her breath in Apache, the words quick and urgent. "They followed my tracks," she said quietly in English. "They think I was taken." A rider near the front dismounted. He was older, his face weathered and marked by a deep scar that ran from his cheekbone to his jaw. Authority surrounded him like a second skin. His eyes moved from Caleb to Apache, then to the barn and the repaired wagon wheel resting against the fence. He spoke sharply in Apache, his voice cutting through the still air. Though Caleb did not understand the words, the accusation in them was clear. Apache stepped forward, placing herself between Caleb and the riders. She answered her father firmly, gesturing toward the wheel, toward Caleb's tools, toward the cabin itself. Her voice rose with emotion, but she did not waver. The circle of riders tightened. Several hands drifted toward bowstrings. Caleb swallowed, standing straight but keeping his hands visible. He knew how easily fear could ignite bloodshed out here. Then a pony did something that stunned them all. She reached back, found Caleb's hand, and held it openly in the pale light of dawn. A murmur rippled through the warriors. The scarred leader's gaze hardened, but uncertainty flickered there too. The silence grew heavier, stretched tight as drawn wire, and Caleb realized that the next breath anyone took could decide whether this ranch would see another sunrise. The murmur among the riders swelled like wine through dry grass, sharp and restless. A pony did not release Caleb's hand. Instead, she stepped forward, drawing him with her into the open space between the porch and the waiting circle of warriors. Her voice rang out in Apache, clear and commanding despite the tension pressing in from every side. She pointed toward the repaired wagon wheel leaning against the barn, then toward the tools scattered across Caleb's workbench visible through the open door. Her words came fast, layered with urgency, and though Caleb could not understand them, he could hear the truth in her tone. The scarred warrior, her father, approached slowly. His boots pressed into the dust with deliberate weight. Up close, his expression was not wild with rage but carved from something deeper, fear for his daughter, pride for his people, and suspicion shaped by years of broken promises from men who looked like Caleb. He studied a pony first, searching her face for any sign of harm or coercion. Finding none, his gaze shifted to Caleb. He spoke a single question in broken English. "You fix?" Caleb nodded once. "Yes, sir." Just helped her mend what was broken. The warrior's eyes narrowed slightly. "Why?" It was not asked angrily, but carefully, as if the answer mattered more than any weapon. Caleb felt every rider watching him, weighing his words. He could speak of neighborly duty or frontier decency, but such phrases might sound hollow here. So he answered simply. "Because she needed it," he said. "And I had the tools." Silence followed. The desert wind finally stirred, lifting fine dust between them and tugging at the feathers braided into the warrior's hair. The father turned, walking to the wagon wheel. He crouched beside it, running his hand along the fresh wood of the new spoke. He pressed against it firmly, testing its strength. The wheel did not shift. A pony stepped beside him and spoke again, her voice softer now. Whatever she said made the scarred warrior's jaw tighten, then ease. Slowly, he rose and faced Caleb once more. The hostility in his posture had not vanished, but it had changed into something steadier, measured judgment rather than blind anger. At last, he extended his hand. It was not a gesture of friendship, but acknowledgement. Caleb hesitated only a heartbeat before gripping it firmly. The warrior's grasp was strong, unyielding, and full of unspoken warning. Respect had been given, but it must never be betrayed. Around them, the circle loosened. Bows lowered. Horses shifted. War had hovered at the ranch's doorstep with the rising sun. Now, under the widening light of morning, it retreated, if only for a while. The Apache riders rode out before noon, their figures dissolving into the heat shimmer of the hills until only dust lingered in the air. Caleb stood by the fence long after they disappeared, the weight of the morning still pressing against his chest. What had nearly become a battlefield now lay quiet again, the ranch bathed in harsh desert sunlight as if nothing had happened. But something had changed. The land itself felt watchful. A pony did not prepare her wagon to leave. Instead, she stood near the barn, eyes fixed on the northern ridgeline. "My father would not bring warriors in war paint without reason," she said quietly. "There are rumors moving through the valleys. Soldiers who do not follow orders. Men who burn first and ask questions later. As if summoned by." Her words, a thin column of smoke rose in the distance, dark against the pale sky. Caleb saw it too. Not a cooking fire. Too thick. Too steady. By late afternoon, the faint echo of gunshots rolled across the open land like distant thunder. Caleb's jaw tightened. He had heard talk in town of a rogue militia sweeping through the territory, convinced that Apache riders gathering meant an uprising. Fear had a way of turning fools into killers. "They will see your tracks here," Apache said. "They will not care that you helped me." Caleb stepped into the cabin and returned with his rifle, checking the chamber with steady hands. "Then we make sure they see more than tracks." As dusk bled into night, shapes appeared along the ridgeline, riders again. But these did not circle the ranch. They approached openly. Apache's father rode at the front, his expression carved from stone. Without a word, the Apache warriors formed a line along Caleb's fence, their silhouettes sharp against the fading light. Caleb moved to stand beside them. The militia arrived near midnight, torches flickering and rifles raised, expecting an isolated rancher or a divided frontier. Instead, they found unity, settler and tribe shoulder to shoulder beneath the same sky. Horses stamped nervously as the two sides faced one another in charged silence. The militia captain scanned the line, counting numbers, measuring resolve. His men shifted uneasily. The advantage he expected was gone. Minutes stretched thin as wire. Then, with visible reluctance, the captain signaled retreat. The torches turned away, shrinking into distant sparks before vanishing completely. When dawn came again, pale and fragile, the smoke on the horizon began to fade. Caleb lowered his rifle slowly. Beside him, Apache allowed herself a small breath of relief. A broken will had brought her to his ranch. Fear had nearly torn it apart. But in the face of a greater threat, something stronger than suspicion had taken root, an alliance forged not by treaty, but by choice.